In 5-day clubs this summer, we're teaching the series called One Way. So this is how I'm going to introduce it the first day of club, or how I'm going to introduce the word up, which is the repetitive main teaching point of the day. So here we go. In the Bible, God tells us some things that he wants us to stop doing, right? And there's some things that he wants us to go and do. But there's also things that he tells us that there's just one way how to do something. Now, not like the roadside one way. That would be silly. I'm talking about one way that he wants... just one way that he wants us to do something. Like for you and I, there's just one way for us to get to heaven, and that's through Jesus, right? There's just one way. And so this week we're going to be hearing some Bible stories about people who God told them there was just one way to do something, and we'll get to see if they chose to go that way or chose not to. But this all reminds me of our word up for today, which is something that we're all going to stand up with the teacher and say. Each time we say word up, we're going to stand up and say, God's way is the only way. And then we would practice that a couple of times. So this little pop-up thing that I have coming out of my Bible, that's going to be our little project for today. I wanted something that would be real easy to manipulate and pop something up like a one-way sign out of my Bible. And it actually moves pretty easy. I just slide this down and it pops up. All right, I'll show you how to make that real quick. Okay, for this project, we're going to need some cardboard from a box, like a cracker box, or just something that's kind of slippery on one side and not so slippery on the other. I'm using the outside of a facial tissue box. Some ribbon from Walmart. This is like 50 cents for this roll. You'll also need some of these little plant stakes or plant labels. I got this from the dollar store. Some white duct tape to match the signs and the ribbon, and some scissors. So I'm just going to be using one panel of this Kleenex box here. There we go. And I'll cut that in half. I just want to be able to have this plant stake on here. About there, so maybe a little bit more than half. All right. I'm also going to cut the tip off of this plant stake so it's nice and flat. And then we'll just sit there like that. I'm going to go ahead and put the some duct tape on there. I want it to be just a little loose so that so it can flip back and forth pretty easy here. That's pretty loose, maybe a little too loose. That's right. Okay. I'm going to cut a little thicker piece, just a little one, to go here to keep it just to keep it kind of stable so it goes straight up and down instead of wobbling from side to side. So right now, if I put it up, it might be this way or this way. I want it to go straight up and down. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit on this side. And a little bit here just to keep it from... so it sticks to itself here. There, that will stay. It doesn't tip as much. Doesn't tip as much now. It just goes straight up and down. All right, now we're going to use this ribbon to keep it from, when it goes up, to keep from going further. So it'll just be straight from, kind of a diagonally from here to here, so that the that will stop straight up and down there. So just about 3 inches or so. I like to tie a knot in the ends so that the tape will hold it just a little better. Okay, and then I'm also going to, at the same time, cut a piece about an inch or two in between them, going from about here on the sign to just over there. So measure kind of how far I want it. Probably about like that. And again, I'll tie some little knots in the end to keep it from slipping as easily out of the duct tape. So now I have a longer piece of ribbon for this side, and then a short piece for this side. I'm going to use one piece of duct tape to hook those both onto the sign. That way the sign doesn't get too thick with duct tape. Alright. Let's see, I think I'll put this one on first, right? I guess about there. So in here. Right, and this one, we want it to stop about there, so put a little piece of duct tape there. This duct tape doesn't have to be white, but I chose white because it kind of matches my Bible, and I figured I'll just keep using the same tape for the whole thing. Alright, and then this piece will go up there somewhere. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. As straight across from the other one as possible. Okay, there we go. It's not falling as fast as I'd like it to, but... Alright, one more thing I forgot you might need. I printed out some labels with a one-way sign. I had to get it, it started off too big, and I had to make some smaller labels that they would actually fit the same length as this plant sign. But I might cut it shorter so it fits exactly the sign, but for right now we'll just pop it on there. And it looks like I need to cut a little extra off. There we go. Alright, so that will pop up like that. Okay, now in my Bible, to put it in there, I'm going to pick something further back than what I really want it to be. This will be where the kind of the anchor part goes, right here, and I like to put it so that the sign piece is about even with the top of the book, top of the Bible there, about as far inside as I can get it. And just flip that over, and put this in here. Just want to pull on this ribbon a little bit so this can fall down, and then when you pull on it, it should pop right up. So you can just pull on it with your thumb, so that anchor piece stays in there good. You might just wedge it right into the binding with the anchor to keep it from sliding up. And there you go. Okay, well hopefully this helps you if you're teaching a 5-day club this summer with the One-Way series, or if you wanted to make some other sign pop out of a book or a Bible. This pretty easy. You can't even quite see that extra ribbon there because I'm using similar ribbons for bookmarks in here. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that.